Live. I'm your host, Evangelist Dan Goodwin, and this is Monday, December 8th, 2025. The time is 8:29 p.m. Central Standard Time, and something pretty interesting to share with you tonight. Right out of the book of Daniel, chapter 2, Daniel chapter 7, and Revelation 13. Well, let's give this just 30 seconds or a minute for folks to get on tonight. And exciting days that we're living in, I'll tell you that. There's something that's just happened, and I can't wait to share this with you. And heads up to, let's see. Well, I've lost it. Anyway, I've lost it. Okay, don't worry about it. Um, Going to share something pretty interesting tonight. And I think it's Joe Lewis that sent me this, and I first saw it. And I had seen the headline, or I had seen something about it, but I hadn't looked at it yet. And then he sent me something, and then I said, I gotta go look and see if this is real. I gotta see if there's something on the internet about this. And lo and behold, there is. So we're going to talk about the 10 toes of the statue, the 10 horns of the beast in Daniel 7. Of course, the Daniel statues in chapter 2. Those are two identical stories, just looked at differently. They're both talking about the world powers, four of them, and then the fifth being the Antichrist kingdom, and then Christ, the stone cut out of the mouth without hands, toppling the statue. And so let me read about this here in one of my books, The Four World Kingdoms, Key Biblical Chapters, Daniel chapter 2 and 7, and Revelation 13, 1 to 4. All speak of the four kingdoms in history that rule the whole world. Actually, they are five if you count what we call the revived Roman Empire, that arises out of the fourth kingdom during the tribulation. The four kingdoms came in power from 605 BC, Daniel's day, through today. And the fifth will extend to the end of the tribulation. There have only been four times in history since the Israelites crossed the Red Sea and left Egypt that the world has been under a one world dictatorship in regards to Israel, that is. I don't think anybody in those days ruled the entire world without technology, right? Um, all right, so these nations are in place and even share a common currency. Um, Babylon, Persia, Greece, Rome. The fifth one will be during the tribulation, and we call it the revived Roman Empire, simply because it will be a renewal of the fourth empire. Um, the fourth empire is made up of all four of those kingdoms. And that fourth kingdom, though not a world empire anymore, since 500 something AD, has never ceased to exist. And really, the spirit of Babylon is intertwined through all of this, all the way into the end time. And so here's the story that came on that I want you to pay attention to. It's over there at a website called Now the End Begins. A fellow named Jeffrey Grider. I have never met him. And by the way, this is 3 days ago. This is from December the 5th. And I'm not catching this until today. But the headline is this: Trump to announce transition to phase two of the Gaza border peace plan by Christmas, complete with a 10-nation confederacy of international rulers. Now, when you read the story, what you're going to find is this is phase two of dealing with Gaza, dealing with the Israel problem and the war going on over there for decades now, dealing with Hamas and all this. Trump wants to take over Gaza and police it. The plan that he's come up with, or somebody, one of his friends, one of his cabinet members, whatever, the it sounds like what they've come up with is to excuse is to form a 10 nation protection squad here. Let me just read a little bit of this. Um, Trump has announced phase two of his Board of Peace plan to take control of Gaza with the unanimous approval of the UN Security Council. The really exciting part of all that was the Jerusalem, all of this was the Jerusalem Post announcing that Trump has created a 10 nation confederacy. Now, I've not looked at the Jerusalem Post to see that story, but he's claiming the Jerusalem Post has announced that Trump has created a 10 nation confederacy to help him bring peace to Gaza. Could things get any more crazy? Is Donald Trump the Antichrist? Um, and he goes on to say he does not believe that he is the Antichrist, but like I've been saying, he's paving the way for this man of sin to take over one day soon. Okay. And he says, I do not think Donald Trump is the biblical Antichrist, but he is absolutely walking the same prophetic pattern that the Bible says the Antichrist will display in the time of Jacob's trouble. Trump is obsessed with bringing peace to the world in general, to peace to the Middle East in particular. He is advocating for peace while at the same time planning and preparing for multiple wars. And Wednesday, he took control of the United States Institute of Peace and renamed it after himself. Now we learn that he will rule over Gaza with a 10 nation confederacy, much like the one outlined in Daniel 2, Daniel. Now, whether all those things are true or not, I don't know. So is this the forming of the 10 toes? Remember, here, let me explain the story in Daniel 2 as well as Daniel 7, but we'll deal with the statue in Daniel 7. The statue looks at the kingdoms of the world as precious metals, power, and might. Daniel 7 is the same four kingdoms, looked at as wild beasts, which nations are. Nations are wild beasts that must be restrained. And our founders understood that, and is why they gave us a constitution, as they called it, to be chains about the ankles of the beast being the nation. And a nation will become a beast. Every nation will. Every nation does, if they're not restrained by the people and by the law and by the Constitution. And right now we have almost a world dictatorship. It's getting close, isn't it? So here's how the statue is described in Daniel 2, and I think I have it here. The image's head was of fine gold. So that's Babylon. The head represents Nebuchadnezzar. In fact, Daniel said, Thou art this head of gold, Nebuchadnezzar. His breast and his arms of silver. That's going to be the Medes and the Persians that will take over shortly after Babylon falls, um, during the life of Daniel. Daniel serves under both of these kingdoms. His belly and his thighs of brass. So that's going to be Greece. That's the kingdom of Greece. Alexander the Great is going to head that up somewhere around 300 BC. His feet were part of iron. All right, I missed one. Sorry. His legs of iron. The legs of iron are the Roman Empire, eventually going to be split into two, right? Um, let's see, somewhere in the 800s, I believe, somewhere in there. Um, so, so you got the head of gold, Babylon. You got the breast and arms of silver, being the Medes and the Persians. The belly and his thighs, brass. That's Greece. That's Alexander the Great. The legs of iron. That's Rome, the Roman Empire that lasts all the way to like 500 A.D. still exists, but it's just not a world empire anymore. His feet, however, his feet, the feet that are attached to the legs, the two legs, the two the Roman Empire in the future will be split in two. And okay, um, those legs are going to have feet, and eventually 10 toes are going to form on those feet. Now we know that this happens at or near the end time. We know that it takes place for sure when the Antichrist comes on the scene. There will be 10 kingdoms that will be under him in this world empire. And you can see that in Daniel 2. The 10 toes are coming off of the Roman Empire. So these are nations, and they're going to rule with the Antichrist. The Bible talks about three of them being taken out and blah blah blah, but we won't worry about that right now. So the 10 toes. So here's what I tell people about this statue. When the 10 toes are there on the feet, that's when the statue is complete. Um, Let me answer this question here that someone's asking. They're saying, they're asking, brother Dan, do you think Donald Trump understands this? Let me find that. Do you think Trump knows that he's paving the way for the Antichrist? Absolutely not. Absolutely, Trump does not know the Bible. He may be a believer. He may be saved. I don't know. I hope that he is. I don't know. But he does not know the Bible. Like that is quite evident. And I'm not being mean to him. I'm just saying he's not. He doesn't even know how to pronounce some of the book names in the Bible, as we saw when he was running for office the first time. Um, I think he called it 1 Corinthians. Now, no Bible believer calls it 1 Corinthians. It's First Corinthians, right? So anyway, I'm just making a point. No, I do not believe Donald Trump sees himself paving the way for the one world Antichrist rule. Does he know about an Antichrist? Everybody knows. Even people who don't believe in God understand the philosophy of the Antichrist. Everyone's heard that terminology. Does he believe he's paving the way for? I do not believe. I do not believe there's even a chance that he knows or sees what he could be doing here, paving the way. I think he's doing what he believes is right. I think he's doing what a politician would do, what a ruler would do, who doesn't know the Bible. I think he thinks what he's doing is best, and he's bringing peace. He's solving wars. He doesn't understand any of that. Okay. Um, okay. So I'll look at the questions again in a minute here. So you got the four kingdoms, and then you got the 10 toes. What I believe happens when the 10 toes are there, this will happen after the rapture, most likely. Could be just before, but I think after. The statue now is on its feet for the first time. It is now one whole being. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't mean that literally. I mean, for the first time in history, all four of those kingdoms and the fifth, which is made up of all four, the Antichrist kingdom is made up of all four: Babylon, Medes and Persians, Greece, and Rome. The 10 toes arrive, and now the statue gets up on its feet and now can stand, and it's now a world kingdom. Have I made that clear? Do you understand what I'm saying there? I hope you do. Without toes, it's hard to stand, isn't it? Those toes are pretty important on your feet. If you didn't have toes, you'd find it very hard to keep your balance. And so when the toes are there, I believe symbolically, the statue, all four kingdoms made up of that fifth kingdom, now stands on its feet and is a world kingdom in itself. And now the question is, now that is going to happen. The question is what we're reading here, are these those 10 kingdoms? And I got to flat out say, I do not know. I don't know. And as Doc says all the time, you got to be careful with modern events and building prophecy around political and modern events. It's hard to tell. It's a lot easier to look back and see prophecy than it is to see it when it's on the scene. Now, does that make sense? Could this be the beginnings of that? It certainly could. Is it? We don't know. Are we near the end? Yes. Do these 10 kingdoms have to exist somewhere right now? Absolutely. And and they do. And this day is coming. But when I read the Bible, what I understand is that this is going to happen officially under the Antichrist. He's going to empower these. I do not believe Donald Trump is the Antichrist. Now, could we be wrong about that? Sure. We don't know. But I do not believe he is. I believe he is setting the stage with all that he's doing, moving the capital into Jerusalem in his last term. And he's doing the work of a King Cyrus. And but he's also a king, so to speak, and a ruler and has power, and he's bringing things to pass that he thinks are good, and they may be good, but they may also lead into the end time. And that could be what this is. It's an interesting article. I would encourage you to go take a look at it. Go read what the author says here. I think you'll find it interesting. Can we say flat out dogmatically this is the beginning of the 10 toes or the 10 horns in Daniel 7? I do not believe it is that we can do that. Is it worth paying attention to and looking at? Yes. Is it a good teaching moment here? Yes. Because this is what's going to happen. Those 10 kingdoms are, in a sense, going to be answerable to one man who rules them all, the Antichrist. Okay. So go take a look at the story. I think you'll find it thought provoking, interesting. Could could this be those? We don't even know who these 10 people. We don't know who the 10 nations are yet. If anyone does, I haven't read it here. That may be out there somewhere. If anybody finds that, send me a link. I haven't looked for that yet. So it's worth taking a look at. Regardless of whether these are the actual forming of these 10 toes, it's a teaching moment for us, for one thing. And it certainly could be the beginning of it, though some of these world nations may be bumped when the Antichrist comes on the scene. And it may not be these particular 10 at all. We don't know. But hey, it's interesting. And time is getting short, isn't it? Things have got to continue to happen rapidly if we're as close as I think we are. Okay. All right. Let's see if we got anything to let's see what the comments are on here. Minnesota's here, Pennsylvania's here. Finally here a little late. Brother Dan, you think okay, I read that one already. Revelation 17. Oh, Van is putting some verses up. Was Revelation 17, the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings who receive no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. So that's obvious that is during the tribulation. But those 10 kings and then kingdoms have got to be here to be appointed, right? They've already got to be in place. And let's see. This guy says, I voted for Trump and probably would vote for him again, considering the choice we had, but it does appear he is more than paving the way for the B system. And by the way, it doesn't mean it's a bad thing what he's doing. Just because the Antichrist takes over and rules the world doesn't mean that some of these things that led to that were bad things, right? Like digital currency. Now, I'm against digital currency, but I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. We already have digital currency. We've had it for decades, but we still get to use cash. So, you know, these things are going to happen. Daniel 2, and as the toes of the feet were part of iron, part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. And I talk about that in my books, and there's some more verses here you can look at. And let's see. All right. Someone said, I can never seem to get here on time. And I was late tonight, half hour late. And but here we are. All right. I think that's about it then. Let's see on Facebook over here. People are commenting. South Carolina, God bless your efforts. And let's see, that's Clay Cordell. We got Frank and Kippy Russo in Pennsylvania. Hope you're feeling better. We're praying, Brother Dan. And I have a doctor's appointment Thursday to uh, see about the blood pressure issue. Carrie Young says hello from Southern California. I bet the weather's nice there. And okay, well, that looks like about it for tonight. Don't forget, the books will be here tomorrow. I'm talking about that book right there, Genesis, the beginning of all things. It is on the way. In fact, it's probably in Owensboro, Kentucky right now, and will be on the delivery truck tomorrow. It's supposed to be there before noon. And I'm going to print the labels probably tonight or maybe in the morning. I'm going to have your envelopes all labeled, ready to put the books in when I get to my shipper up there. There's 2 cases coming. And as of right now, I've got enough books coming for everybody that is pre-ordered. And so there's still time. Hey, I'm talking to you, Britt, from Arkansas, Little Rock area. I don't see your order up there yet, Brother Britt. I'm going to have to come out there. I mean, am I? Am I going to have to come out there? So get them ordered now, so that you can get that first shipment tomorrow. And we're going to leave the pre-order up just for a few more days, and just because it's a good Christmas special for you to get some great gifts for people on your list. 5 books for $50 free shipping. And by the way, I'm going to spend like $9 and something for the shipping on those. So you're getting a great deal on those books. Okay. And 170 pages, good, exciting stuff that you're going to enjoy. That'll help you understand some things. Okay. All right. Christmas is coming. And can you believe it? I mean, what, 3 weeks, something like that? Or is it 3 weeks from Thursday, this coming Thursday? Something like that, I think. I hope, or maybe it's 2 weeks from that. I don't know. But anyway, um, okay, I think we've got everything there. We've seen all the comments here. Let's see. Tell me I didn't vote for the Antichrist. No, I do not believe he's the Antichrist. And by the way, if he turned out to be the Antichrist, that doesn't mean you made a poor choice when you voted. You voted for what the man was at the time. And can you imagine? Could anybody else be doing what this man's doing? Now, is he paving the way? Sure, he is. It's got to happen. If we're at the end time, it's got to happen. And okay, all right. So let's shut her down there, and keep your eyes on them skies.